Hello again, everyone. So this will be a short video of how I did my commission portrait for little Miss Jaylynn here. She is actually a family member of mine and my aunt's granddaughter. So the lady who commissioned it is actually her other grandmother. And so this is just me kind of going through everything and getting everything all lined out, and so I knew where all the shades are and all those things. Now she kind of went through a few different transformations. At one point I did have her as a landscape painting, but then I switched her to this and moved it to being a portrait orientation. Now I have finally figured out hair on the iPad, so I was able to get it how I wanted it to and get it around the leaves everywhere where I wanted things. Shading does take a little bit of time on here, and I didn't have to do this, but I did anyway because I wanted to know the directions of my leaves so I could figure out how they're flowing around her head. But yeah, so this is just kind of a quick sketch on the iPad so I can have it printed out if I wanted it and see where things were. The client, she wanted to have more blues and burnt oranges and burgundies and kind of colors that matched her room that's going to go in, and she did send me a carpet sample photo of the color she was wanting, so I did as best as I could with the materials that I had to be able to get the colors that were there. So now we are on the paper, and fairly easy. So yeah, now this is the first time I've ever used pastel colors, and I did find them quite easy to use. I did have to quite often spray in between layers just to make sure everything stayed. And there was a very pretty blue that she had in her rug, so I wanted to make the sky kind of that color. Yeah, again, this is just me learning as I go with materials I've never quite used before and have always been curious about. So yeah, so here's the background. Ooh, now we are on to figuring out her shapes and shadows of her face. She's such a beautiful little girl. I was very happy I was able to do this for them. Occasionally I do have to have the printout of the picture that I'm working off of just to make sure I have the correct details, the correct shading, angles and everything, because sometimes noses and mouths and chins and that kind of area can get a little wonky, but having that reference photo helps a lot to make sure that her features are correct. I chose this music specifically for this picture because when I was working on her, Colors of the Wind actually started playing, so I thought it would be perfect for this because we were making her hair flow into the wind, and I thought it was beautiful. And it just fits so perfectly. Little by little, I do have, of course, videos of her that I took while I was making her. I had a few issues with my camera where it kept turning off, so quite a few of the videos I thought I had were actually gone. So in between these ones here, you don't really get to see much. You got to see a little bit of the progress in between each take. So here I am taking off the masking fluid glue. Oh my gosh, this stuff is horrible. It smells awful. But I knew that tape would take forever to get around all the little individual leaves and their little points and everything. But yeah, so it took me a little bit to get it off, and now I'm shading everything in with pencil or the watercolor pencils just to kind of give it a little bit extra when I go over them. I unfortunately didn't get much of this because, again, my camera turned off, so I only got part of it. Here she is with the color blocking that I was doing for her final piece here, where she's completely done. She's got her lashes, she's got her eyebrows, she's got all her little details, little wisps of hair, and yeah, so this is my portrait of Jaylynn. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.